Here we have a 1760s Philadelphia Chippendale chair made out of walnut. And that's how we can sometimes date Philadelphia chairs, is they were stuck on walnut a little bit longer than other chair makers, because Chippendale chairs are generally mahogany. And Queen Anne chairs, the period before, is generally walnut. So obviously the seat's been replaced. But one of the characteristics of Chippendale is the splat, which is pierced, unlike Queen Anne, which is solid. And this chair has slipper feet, which is characteristic. I have another chair with ball and claw feet I'll do another video on a little later. Come down here and you can see the one pin. Instead of two pins, one pin there, and there's one pin there. Well, there's actually two there. There's a later one just to the top of that. And so there's a picture of the leg and the feet. Of course, the back ones would be plain. And of course, if you go over to the side, you can see the shape. You can see the bottom there of that rear leg, or the rear leg, and then the style. See that curve? It's all one piece of wood that they had to whittle down in order to make it more comfortable. And like I said, this seat is replaced. This would have had a seat similar to this. And I'll take the seat off. And this one's kind of hard. And the seat here is made from yellow pine, the seat frame. So that's, as you can see, yellow pine is a lot lighter than that, and that's all patina. And on the inside of the chair, one of the characteristics of Philadelphia chairs is in the front there's two blocks, one, two, curved, not triangle or square. Same there. The rear ones, only one block. But again, you see the curve. Never square, never triangle. And then you can see here the rosehead nails. Remember, those are all handmade. Prior to 1790, that's what they used to put this piece on. This is yellow pine. And you notice when you look at it, the top is lighter than the bottom because the seat went right here. And air didn't get to it. Air got to this, so it began to oxidize, or not really oxidize, but age. And then I'm not sure if I get the inside of the rail. Sometimes it's hard to get the camera to focus. But let's see if I can get the other side here. There. That's the inside of the rail. Doesn't have to be finished. Look on the other side. See, that is totally unfinished. You might be able to see the planer's mark. Now on the back of the chair, how you know a Philadelphia chair is, see the through tenon here? That's the side rail. And then right next to it, one pin. Generally there's two pins, but this guy liked to do one pin. And there's another through tenon with a pin to the left. And then of course, how you can tell, 18th century chairs, here's the shoe. And then there's, instead of a one-piece shoe, this is another piece of wood. And this is the splat. So there's always two pieces to the shoe in 18th century furniture. Now there are exceptions, but I wouldn't buy one unless it was two-piece. And because in the Victorian age, the colonial revival and the centennial furniture of the 1870s and 80s and 90s, they didn't have any need for this two-piece, so they made it one because they had machines. This was construction and was ease of construction. I don't know if it can focus on this. There's the back of this chair. Now this chair, I know the camera's not on the chair. I'll try to show this chair. If I could focus that. There's an X there. Let's see if I can come up further. It won't focus. If I go up, nope. See that X? That's chair number 10. So whoever bought this chair ordered at least 10. These were bought in sets. One armchair, the balance, side chairs on the table. Now when you look at this splat, that's exactly the same design George Washington, when he lived in New York City, when he ordered his 14 Chippendale chairs from Philadelphia. That's the exact splat he ordered. But he ordered mahogany, and he ordered ball and claw feet. And this one, of course, is walnut, and it has the pad foot, as you could see there. So I've got another one of these that has ball and claw. I'm trying to determine what kind of wood it is. Once you stain wood, you begin to have a hard time identifying if it's mahogany, walnut, cherry, etc. So there's my 1760s Philadelphia Chippendale chair. No carving, no fancy, usually there's carving there, and there's sometimes a shell carving here, and on the knees there's sometimes shell carving. Once you add carving, then the price goes up substantially. If this thing had a carved shell here, it'd be worth about $5 grand. If you carve the knees here, both knees, and a shell here, it could go up to $15,000 just for one chair. And if you really have some very substantial carving of the splat, you can get into the $100,000 range. So this is a plain one. A nice 1760s Philadelphia Chippendale side chair. Thanks for watching.